So, I am drawing fan art of Minecraft YouTuber Technoblade, and clearly I forgot to record about half the line art and the entire sketching process. So, there's that. You can tell that I was struggling with the legs. I had drawn a specific cool pose with the legs, and while I was sketching, I was like, this looks bad, but I'm sure I'll get to it in line art and it'll look good. It didn't. So I ended up just resketching out the legs in a pose that was easier for me to draw, artist hacks, and yeah, it still looks like I don't know how to draw feet. I promise I do. It's been a rough drawing, gotta say. I don't think I warmed up, and also I can't draw feet, I'm not gonna lie. So I wanted to do this fan art just because I had recently gotten really into his videos. Not so much the Dream SMP, just his videos, mostly the Bed War and Hypixel kind of stuff. It's fun. I did enjoy Potato Wars, but I decided I was going to draw some fan art of him because I do like how everyone has a different interpretation of how the pig thing works. So yeah. And about here is when I realized I probably needed to start on the sword. I didn't want it to be just your average diamond sword. I kind of wanted it to be big and clunky and just aggressive, which doesn't really fit his playstyle, but I did want it to look intimidating. So here I was drawing, and it was kind of tiny, not gonna lie, and I realized that I had drawn it on the line art layer rather than on a new layer, so I had to scrap the whole thing. I didn't realize this yet. There we go. I have yet to realize. Now I've realized. I don't know how I didn't realize till just then, because I did move it around and it was, look, gang, I don't pay attention to things. So here I am drawing it a little bigger too, using this opportunity to improve. I wanted to make a big chunker of a sword, and that's what I did. Added some notches into it and fixed up the blade again. The angle of the blade was kind of wild, and here's where I was trying to fit it in, do a little messing with the angle, and then just kind of erasing parts that are behind, and then I go in on the other layer and erase parts that are behind the sword. You know, just kind of how people do. And at this point, I started in on the coloring. I was really happy with the line art, so I was hoping that the coloring was going to do well, and I do like it on my laptop. I know that colors look different on different devices, and they look always darker and more saturated and redder on my phone than they do on the laptop, so I'm hoping it'll still look fine. Here, I'm just kind of putting some colors in. I did use Technoblade's, what are they called? U2 thing as a reference for color and also for the line art, and I just kind of wanted to get some blocks in. I was being very messy with it, and I decided that it was going to be a diamond sword, but I couldn't figure out how, like, my version of it would do, but I figured it out, and then I So if you ever wanted to know what it's like to suffer, I would point you to this, because I should have done the gray fluff on top of the layer that it was on, so that I could very easily get the dark red in there, but I didn't. So lots of going back and forth between the two colors and trying to get it right, and I hated the experience. Honestly, the entire flat section was just rough, and I didn't enjoy it. But I do like the colors that I chose, so, it's whatever. Here I was just, trying my best. And at this point, I realized that I could just, select a section rather than coloring the whole thing in, which I ended up abandoning anyways, because it gets a little more complicated once you get in there. But mostly just kind of trying to find quick and easy ways, and that involves using the paint bucket tool, which is highly debated, I guess is the word that I would say. It's not universally loved, because it can get some pretty gnarly, artifacts on the edges. But I was careful to avoid that, and I think it turned out pretty okay, even if I did use the paint bucket. Around here is where I had to shrink my pen size so I could get in on the little details, and I think I enjoyed it thoroughly. It was a lot of fun, and I did enjoy doing the face. Mostly just trying to figure out, because I didn't want to have to draw eyes, because I felt like it'd be more ominous if you couldn't see his eyes. So I just drew an anime dark area shadow thing, and I decided that was fine, went in on the buttons. Just kind of chilling, filling things in, finding little things, little details. At this point, I decided I was going to start shading, and I started off on the wrong layer, so I had to go back and do it again. I do like this kind of dark blue, and mostly I just pick a direction, have the general direction reflected in the shadow, just kind of half and half it, and then go in with the pen tool and kind of add shading in the same direction. So the light is coming from the top right. I had the bottom left of the painting just completely in shadow, and then I went in with the pen and eraser tool and added details to the smaller bits. Made it look kind of cool, I think. I did this a lot in my cryptid series, which I promise I'm working on. I just am a college student, and I don't have as much time to research, so I haven't really gotten any of them done. But I promise I will. I'm working on it. But I was doing the fluff, and I was like, yes, this is fine, but what if I added more detail? So I did, and I think it looks pretty cool. At this point, I decided to see if I could make the shading a little softer, do it painterly style, see if that looked any good. I was kind of dubious the entire time I did it, so I didn't put a lot of effort into it, which probably skewed the results. but I just kind of wanted to see what it would look like painterly, and I decided I didn't like it, so now I'm coloring. I was just getting in the little details here and there, and I was messing around with the shadows a bit, trying to see what I liked, and after a while I decided that was fine and did this. So yeah,